I was sharing with folks at Friendsgiving the cured meat smell, and everyone agreed that that's crazy. And Joel and I were right to feel concerned about the wine before we drank it.
I guess I'm out.
It's a pretty common flavor note in Syrah, especially cool climate Syrah. You get some cured meat, some bacon fat. Just like petrol, or the way I experience it, tennis balls is a common flavor note in Riesling.
I've never heard of that.
Do I have any tennis balls around here? I'm never going to be good at this, man. I'm never going to. I was finally figuring out what strawberries smell like, and now I got to remember what tennis balls smell like.
That's right.
Next week, you're going to be like, this new credit card smell.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's we're not drinking a Pinot tonight, so you're not going to get any of that.
You know when you lick an envelope? Sauvignon Blanc, baby. Welcome to Stop Wasting Your Wine, a wine review podcast where we waste our wine so you don't have to. On this episode, we review
a white wine from Germany.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We're sitting here just a couple days after Thanksgiving, and I am very thankful to be joined by two of the most well-fed gentlemen I know, Joel and Colin. Welcome back from your feasts and your family time. How are you?
Wow. How timely. That was perfect.
It was perfect. That was really well done.
The award for most well-integrated intro into the timing in the season definitely goes to you, Aaron. Well done, sir.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold on to that until Christmas time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll ship it out to you.
Man, we'll have to see what happens around then. See, maybe it'll be a Joel episode. He maybe try to outdo you, something like that.
You better believe it. But I'm already thinking. It takes me a long time to think about what I'm going to say.
That's right.
So for listener at home, we'll sit there for a good 5-6 minutes while I'm just in my head thinking about something. You wouldn't believe that from what I've come up with, but it's true. A lot of thought. But yeah, awesome. No, but thank you for asking. Doing very well. Kind of glad. Not gonna lie, I love the holidays, but a little bit glad to get into some normalcy for a couple of weeks, and then we got more holidays coming. But just lovely to be around the family and all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm very well fed. I ate a lot, and it was really good. We went over to my brother-in-law, sister-in-law's place, and he cooked a ham. And I don't get ham at home because my wife doesn't like ham. So I went crazy on that thing because I love ham. So I just went absolutely ham nuts. And it was.
You went ham on that ham?
Do you go ham on that?
I went ham. You know what? I thought about saying that, but then I thought to myself, that is pretty cheesy. And I didn't say it. So I'm glad somebody got it in there.
And then Aaron and I were like, hey, you went ham on a ham.
Cheese jokes all day long. Hey, you know how to tell the difference between a normal joke and a dad joke?
No.
The punchline is apparent.
Okay.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Stop Wasting Your Wine. We're going to go ahead and shut it down now.
Yeah,
I love that. More dad jokes, please. What are we doing? All the dad jokes. How are you doing, Aaron? How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, I'm great. I am fantastic. I got a couple different locations, saw a lot of friends, went back home to New Hampshire, and I was a different man. I usually walk in with like a 6-pack of beer or a 12-pack of beer, and this year I went straight wine. I brought a couple wine bottles. I brought the Rheingau that we reviewed a few weeks ago and shared that with folks, and a couple other wines I found, and was just like super excited to have a change of pace. And I gotta be honest, I felt a lot better the next morning after each event, after sipping wine in the evening, rather than just like rocking through a 6-pack of beer or a 12-pack of beer.
Slamming beer. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
This is called maturity.
I guess so. I was going to ask if you had gone to New Hampshire too, just based on your flannel today that you're wearing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This was one of 3 flannels that I brought, and I didn't get to rotate this one in, so it was in my suitcase and easy to throw on right now.
See,
and I thought it looked festive.
It does, and you don't want to waste a clean flannel. We know that
No.
for sure.
That's
Absolutely not.
something Joel's always said. You never want to wear clean flannel.
It's been one of my pillars.
It's weird.
for a
People
while.
can't see it in the video, but it's actually a frame saying on the other side of his office.
I crocheted that, actually. It's
Yeah. He lives his life by few rules, but that is one of them.
That's one
Fantastic. Well, here we are. And if you are still listening, today we're going to be talking about an exciting new wine moving into a region that I don't believe we've been at in this year or in so far in our podcast.
We've never even been in this country, nonetheless the region.
Absolutely. Joel, can you tell us a little bit about what we are drinking today?
Yes, happy to. So this is, like we said, it's a white wine from Germany. More specifically, this is from Domdechant Werner. This is the Gut Riesling Trocken, a Riesling, obviously. This is from Rheingau. ABV of 12%, and we picked this up for a little under $20, and this is the 2021 vintage.
Awesome. And this is a wine that Colin picked for us this week. Colin, can you share why did you choose this German wine for us today?
Yeah, absolutely. So Riesling is a grape that I personally love, top of the list for me when it comes to white wine grapes. And I think it's one of those grapes that gets a really bad rap because when a lot of people hear Riesling, they think very sweet, maybe something that comes in a blue bottle, if you know what I'm talking about,
No, I see an image of my mom with a blue bottle, and that's Riesling to me. Yes.
It's like a dark blue glass bottle.
Yes. Yeah.
See?
I know what
you
you're
see
talking
it
about.
now too in your
I know
head.
what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
He's there. He's right there with us.
It's
Right
core
there.
memory. It's in there. It's in there
Yeah.
deep. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. I just wanted to make sure I understood what you were talking about.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So it's a grape that it gets a lot of hate because a lot of people haven't really tried different versions of it. So I wanted to bring in this one because, as Joel mentioned, this is a dry wine, or Trocken, which you will find on the label. So if you want dry Riesling from Germany, look for the term Trocken. They'll always put it on the label. And it's just, again, it's one of my favorites, and I wanted to get a Riesling in on the show. So I thought this would be definitely not, I think, what people would expect from Riesling, but I think hopefully will be a really good example of what dry German Riesling can be.
I am really glad you said that because coincidentally, before every episode, I always offer to my wife to try the wine that we are drinking on this day. And today she asked what we're drinking, and I told her Riesling, and she passed on it. She was like, I don't like Riesling. It's too sweet. So now
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And so it's exactly what you said.
Yep.
So when someone's talking to a couple minutes, I'm going to mute and I'm going to yell upstairs for her to grab a glass before I drink it all. Because I'm curious to know if someone who has a preconceived notion about Riesling would feel differently about this. So there's going to be a mid-episode experiment happening, just to give you all a heads up.
Yeah, and this is going to be just, again, without knowing what this wine's going to bring, just knowing about dry German Riesling, this is going to be nothing like that ultra sweet Riesling. You could put them next to each other and you'd have no idea it was the same thing. There are some really good sweet Rieslings. I don't want to put sweet Riesling down because it's when it's done really well. Germany is really famous for different levels of sweetness in their Riesling. And when it's done really well with really good acidity and a lot of care has been put into it, it can actually be a really nice wine. But this is definitely going to be a little bit different than I think what people are used to seeing out of their sweet Riesling.
Joel, any thoughts on that?
No, I'm just really excited. I guess I would fall into this category too of, I haven't stayed away from Riesling, but I've never really explored it, just probably for the same kind of preconceived notions that we're talking about here. So excited to maybe expand my my book a little bit here.
Yeah, I hope we're able to open up something new for you. Turn a page.
Fantastic. Well, speaking of expanding, let's learn a little something today by expanding our knowledge.
This
God,
is
your segues.
the only thing you will learn.
All right, so we are actually back to trivia this week. This is going to be round 2 of 3. We took a break because we had a guest last week. Just as a reminder, Aaron has 3 points and Joel has 1 point, but it's not because Aaron absolutely crushed last week. It's just the way the game's been set up so far. So
It's because I absolutely crushed that week.
It's not. All right. We are continuing our journey through the winemaking process today. And last Last time we did trivia, we talked about harvest. And now that we have the grapes in the winery, we are going to turn them into wine. So today we are talking about the process making the wine. With that being said, let's get into it. So, while there are many similarities in the process of making white wine and red wine, there's one significant step that sets them apart. So, what happens to the red grapes early in the winemaking process that doesn't happen to the white grapes? Got it? Do red grapes, A, have no skin contact? The juice does not have contact with the skins of the grape before fermentation. B, extended skin contact, where the juice sits with the skins of the grapes before or while fermenting. C, a starter ferment in stainless steel barrels that kicks off the main fermentation. Or D, a short stint in a wine barrel before fermentation.
I believe the answer to this one would be B, skin contact, where the juice sits on the skins of the grape before or while fermenting.
And that is absolutely correct. Ding, ding, ding. You got that right.
All right.
Yep. So skin contact leads to extraction of color, tannin, and flavor. And color and tannin is not a good thing in white wine. So in white wine, the juice is pressed immediately off the skin and then fermented. Bonus question. You guys weren't ready for this, and this could go to either of you. And how this is going to work is the first person to chime in saying their name is who gets to answer the question. You got that? So get ready.
Yeah.
So with white wine, as I just mentioned, they don't usually want any of the tannin or color that comes with extended skin contact. However, there is a type of style of wine where you do see white wine grapes with extended skin contact. What kind of wine, or what do they call that style of wine?
Their name.
Got it.
Can I go now?
Joel? Yes, Joel.
All right. Would that be an orange wine?
That would be an orange wine, Joel, with the correct answer.
Wow.
Yeah,
not bad, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Good job. Good job.
So that means we're all tied up, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
And just like that, my gloating is gone.
Boom.
A lot of people might not be familiar with orange wine, as it seemed Aaron was not.
I am one of those people.
Yeah, for sure. So if you ever hear somebody talk about orange wine, basically just white wine grapes that go through a very similar process to red wine grapes as far as winemaking is concerned. And that's how you get the color orange. Little extra knowledge there for you. Question number 2. This one is for Aaron. We just talked about red wine grapes having extended skin contact with the juice. What is that process called? Is it A, filtration, B, maceration, C, clarification, or D, chaptalization? Remember, if you get this wrong, Joel gets a chance to steal.
Is it B, maceration?
It is B, maceration. Well done. Yes, sir. Point for Aaron.
God. I haven't felt this uncomfortable since high school.
So that is maceration, the process of red wine grape having extended contact with their skins, seeds, and sometimes stems. So after the process of maceration, or right after in the case of white wine, the juice is pressed off, yeast is added to begin fermentation. So question number 3, and this is Joel's question.
We're currently tied 4-4. Just
Yeah.
want to toss it out there.
What are the 2 major byproducts of fermentation? So after the yeast is added, things start going. What are the 2 major byproducts of fermentation in wine? Is it A, color compounds? Is it B, alcohol? Is it C, yeasty, bready flavors? Or is it D, heat? And it's, remember, 2 of those, you get 2 points for this. And if you miss either of them, Aaron gets a chance to steal.
And also, I lied. I'm up 4-3.
That's right. Joel has a chance to take the lead right now.
So, all right. So color compounds, alcohol, yeasty, bready flavor, and heat. So the first of the 2, alcohol.
Obviously. Yes.
And this, I don't know if you're trying to be a little sneaky here with this second one,
Maybe a little sneaky.
or if it's right down the middle here. But I'm going to go ahead and say yeasty, bready flavor.
Incorrect. Aaron,
I know.
a chance to
I know
steal.
what it is. That sucks.
Well, shoot. I don't know what the other 2 mean, so I need a coin to flip.
I know what it is now. You were being very, very sneaky.
That was.
We got to go back to this. I'm going to give Aaron a chance, and then we got to talk.
I would say D, heat.
Yeah, that's right. It is. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. What does that mean? I guessed.
Yeah. So absolutely. So after fermentation starts, there are actually 3 major byproducts, but the last one is carbon dioxide, which naturally kind of dissipates in a regular still wine fermentation. So that's not as important. But of course you have alcohol in fermentation, which, is obviously a huge part of the process. But then heat is an important factor that winemakers have to consider, because fermentations can get really, really hot, and they can actually sort of kill off some of the more delicate flavor compounds in wine. And that's especially true with white wine. Joel, did you have something to say there?
No, I knew it. Because I did the yeasty comes from the what's the funny word, right? The lees.
The lees, that's right.
Going back to our conversations and our choice of lees versus dead yeast.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
But so the trick there is yeast is what kicks off fermentation. So while you are correct that yeast does give the bready flavors, it happens after fermentation. It doesn't happen during fermentation. So.
You are
what a sneaky SOB.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I want to review because I want to make sure in the learning session we walk away with solid knowledge. And so, Colin, please correct me if I'm wrong. I want to name the things I learned. I learned that in red wines, they keep the actual grape skins in the wine during the process so that they're taking more out of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Whereas white wines, they press and kind of remove the skins as quickly as possible. Uh-huh. I learned, what was question number 2? Question number 2 was
about the process, the maceration, basically the process.
It's called maceration.
Yep.
Great. I learned that the 2 major byproducts of fermentation are alcohol and heat. And I learned that I am still beating Joel, I believe, 5-4 at this point.
Yep, absolutely. I think
we'll have to have the judges recount the score here. I'm not really sure if I agree, but we'll do that.
Now we have wine. We've made it to the point where after fermentation happens, you have wine. And we will finish up our trivia next week when we talk about the aging process and bottling.
Thanks, Don. Glad we learned something.
Yep, me too.
All right, gentlemen. So we learned some things. We have a fantastic Riesling. We have a Riesling that we already have proven has surprised some folks, that folk being my wife, who says she liked it, even though she does not normally like Rieslings. Let's dive into it a little bit. Let's check this wine out. Okay.
Tastes like wine.
Yes. And as you can tell by our specialty drop, this is a twist-off bottle of wine. Colin, do you have any insight into that? Is Germany like New Zealand? Is this an economic thing or what's going on?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It might be an environmental thing, but we'll have to have the research department look that up.
All right, gentlemen, what are you smelling? What are you getting on the nose, as they say in the field?
Lemon. Lots of lemon.
Agreed.
And like some, green apple, some other green elements that aren't quite as, like boom in your face as the lemon, but very green, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think, could I offer pear?
Oh, yeah. I'll pick that up.
A green fruit, pear, a little bit of pear.
Yeah. What do you got, Aaron?
Nothing like, I don't know. I'm, you all said a lot of what I would normally pick up with my level 0 nose. Yeah, not much to add for me.
So I'm also getting a little bit of like white peach, just like a little bit. But yeah, I like the lemon. And then there's also
how about grass? Can I throw grass out there?
I'm not getting any grass, but what I am getting, and maybe this is what you're smelling, maybe it's not, but I kind of get, and this is going to sound off the walls if you're not familiar with it, so just hang in there with me. It's kind of like
cured meat.
No, oh God, if you thought cured meat was weird, you are going to freak on this one. It's like it's kind of like a freshly cracked can of tennis balls.
I'm out.
Whoa.
I quit, guys. I'm out. I can't do this with you anymore.
Yeah, no. Oh God, he's leaving. Oh, we lost.
Hi. It was one said.
I'm bringing the wine. What? No way.
Well done.
No, I'm being dead serious. That's the way I experience this flavor note, but it's a pretty common flavor note, especially in cooler climate Rieslings. And some people say petrol, like a diesely type scent, but it comes across to me as more of a, freshly cracked tennis balls. And maybe that's what you're picking up on, maybe not. I don't know if we're on the same page with that.
I mean, maybe, because I would not, if you gave me 10 years to come up with that, I wouldn't. But I had my nose deep in there when you said that. And as soon as you said it, was like my brain clicked and was like, oh, yes, absolutely. Like, and I'm talking a fresh, like you just got back from the Sports Authority. You popped.
That's right.
A fresh can of tennis balls. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I guess wild, man. This is why our podcast is special, because no matter who is listening to this right now, if you are you found your way here and you've gone through a bunch of certification, you're a big wine person, you're probably nodding along and you're like, oh yes, the tennis ball petrol smell, I am familiar. And then if you're like a moderate person, you're probably like, oh yeah, fresh cut grass, like yeah, I get that extra. And then if you're the dummies like me who are listening, you're like, yeah, pear, you guys said pear, and I'm like, I know what that is. That is a fruit, and I could smell that.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. But that's definitely a flavor that I had to try a lot of Riesling to get. Definitely not something that if you're not thinking about it, it doesn't pop out. But once you do start to think about it, once you do start to look for it, especially in cooler climate Rieslings, you really start to notice that. And it's not in all Rieslings, and it definitely varies in intensity too. Sometimes I've gotten some Rieslings are like super intense on that note. This one is definitely not as intense, which is nice, because the ones that are a little bit more intense can be a little too much. It kind of takes over. You don't get a lot of the fruit flavor. This, I get mostly fruit up front and a little bit of that weird funky tennis ball flavor in the back. So I actually, in this wine, really enjoy it.
Fruit in the front, tennis balls in the back.
The mullet of wines. That didn't work. It's okay.
So the one other thing I was just going to point out is there's like a sweetness almost like not, and it's dry wine. Obviously, it says Trocken on the bottle. We know the wine itself is going to be dry, but almost like a slight honeyed characteristic, almost like just ever so slight though. Like it just kind of lifts the other flavors really nicely. So
I mean, I'm not getting that on the nose, but I'm hoping to get it when we try this bad boy.
All right, that's about the entire spectrum of smells that you can have. Let's see how it tastes. I hope I don't taste tennis balls.
Holy acid, Batman! Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Yep.
That is a highly acidic glass of wine we have there.
Oh my god, that is almost sour.
It's like biting into a lemon.
It is. That is insanely acidic, which is on par for the grape. So Riesling is usually a very acidic grape, which is why you see sometimes sweeter versions of Riesling, because the natural opposite of acidity is sweetness. But this is dry, and it's just like absolute acid to the face. This is nuts.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Very dry, very acidic. I think from a structure standpoint, like we also, it's 12% alcohol, so it's a lower alcohol. Is that low or is that medium still? Medium low?
I believe technically it's medium, but it's right on the edge.
It's on the lower, yeah, it's on the lower side of medium, and so it's an easy drinker. I'll say that it is going down pretty quickly. It is acidic. It is dry.
Yeah.
Their alcohol is like non-existent as far from like a taste impact standpoint. Obviously, it's a white wine, so we're not really thinking about like tannins and like the fullness of the body that much. But like it is, it's going down quick. I'll say that.
It is, and you know what? Much like. When you do eat something with a lot of lemon, or if you do eat a sour candy or something like that, the first time you eat it or drink it, like it's like, whoa, it's a little shocking. But then as I'm drinking it a little bit more, I'm not overwhelmed by it anymore. It's still there, but I'm not as shocked by it.
Great call. Yeah. I was going to bring up the same thing. 100% notice that.
Stating the obvious, 100%, the citrus is there.
Yep.
Confirmed the green apple, the pear, all that good stuff. Going back to you mentioned honey, Colin, and absolutely, the way you described it is really perfect. Like it does not make it sweet by any means, but like you could tell that there's some kind of softening, sweet-ish flavor in there that really kind of, I think, works really nicely with this big acid that's also going on at the same time. The only other thing that came to mind as I was drinking it is like a stony kind of taste.
Yeah.
Earthy, stony. I don't know, somewhere I'm between like earth and stone, but I think more stone than earth.
I would definitely say more stone than earth. Actually, I agree with a little stony, especially on the finish. And you don't pick it up on the nose. It's like a little hidden flavor in the back, but I would absolutely agree with that, and it's really nice. But I agree with all the other things we said about the on the nose, the citrus, I get a little bit of that peach in there, and then you do get a little bit of that petrolly tennis ball flavor. But
son
again,
of a bitch,
as it's kind of a background player on the nose, it is also on the palate. It's just like you get it and then it kind of goes away, which is really nice because it's just, again, it doesn't take over anything else. It's just kind of like a background player, and it's again, along with like the stoniness, it's a really nice way to kind of break up the other flavors in the wine. And I really appreciate the way that all these flavors are kind of coming together.
I'm ordering tennis balls as soon as we're done recording. I just want you to know that. Yeah. In the next episode, I'm going to have a bottle of Riesling. I am going to have a can of tennis balls, and we are going to do a smell comparison because I am totally thrown off by this, and we're going to test this out.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Love it.
Fantastic. Now, Colin said in the beginning, like, this is not your often thought of Riesling. It is a dry Riesling, which in the title, you could find that with the word is Trocken, right? That is, if you're looking for a Riesling and you see Trocken, like, that's actually a dry Riesling. That being said, Colin, why don't you start us off? How do you feel about this wine to live up to your expectations?
Yeah, but did they like it? It's time for the review.
Yeah, I really like this wine. It's really just a really fantastic example of a dry Riesling. And I think if you wanted to show somebody who may not understand what dry Riesling is or what the Riesling grape can bring to the table, I think this is a great bottle of wine for that. You know, if all they've ever known is that sweet garbage Riesling, like, this could absolutely change their mind. It is a little bit acidic, which I know some people don't like, but as we talked about, the acidity kind of dies down as you drink it. So it might be a little bit much up front, but, you know, encourage them, if they don't like that, to have another sip because it totally changes the way you experience the wine. I think with that being said, this is going squarely on the kitchen table, and honestly, it's the closest white wine we've had to the wine fridge.
All right, so a very good kitchen table wine. I'm gonna jump in, Joel, and I'm gonna save you for last.
Saving the best for last.
Absolutely. Okay. I also enjoy this wine. I'm not a huge white wine person, as I am, you know, learning about myself. Like, I really like reds. I like lots of different reds, but I think this was a really enjoyable wine. I am dangerously close to the end of this bottle in a very short period of time, because it's an easy drinker, and I really like the fact that we are discovering like the layers within people's general perception or of a wine. So like the perception is like Riesling is super sweet. Colin and folks have the knowledge that there are many different layers of Riesling, and we have a dry Riesling here. I really enjoyed being able to hand this to my wife and be like, what do you think? And have her kind of mind be blown. So like, I agree, I would make this a kitchen table wine, not only because it is a good wine, it's enjoyable, but also it's a fun conversation starter in the sense of like, when you think of Riesling, you probably think of a sweet wine. Here's an example of a dry Riesling, and kind of introduce something new to folks. And so if we think about a kitchen table wine as not just something that is good to drink, but something that you like to share with others, you have the quality of the beverage and the conversation piece there. And again, for the price point that we always want to come back to, of like $19.99, just a good thing that you can enter and not just toss the bottle out, but say, I have this wine, I want to talk about it. It's pretty good. Joel, take us home.
Not since the Muirwood Chardonnay have my preconceived notions about a varietal been so wonderfully smashed. Coming into this, I was truly not very excited about this one because I wasn't expecting much. And yeah, I mean, from the first sip, even that first sip where we're all kind of like, oh, wow, that's acid to the face sort of a thing. Still, it was like, oh, there's something here, though. It's a very, there's complexity and there's something interesting. And from the get-go, not at all what I was expecting from a Riesling. So, no, I'm with you guys. I'm putting this right there on the kitchen table. And I got to be honest with you, usually when I'm, if I'm out somewhere and I'm looking for a white wine to pair with, some shellfish or whatever. I live in Florida. We eat shrimp all the time. And I would typically, try to find like a Sauv Blanc or something like that to pair with that. But I truly cannot wait to go try to find, a German Riesling, maybe this exact one out somewhere to enjoy. So truly opened my eyes to kind of the world, and looking forward to getting into more of these. So that's my official answer, sitting on the kitchen table proudly. And I agree with you guys too. I mean, definitely the closest. I didn't think about putting this in my wine fridge at any point, but if we're talking about the closest one to it, closest white wine to the wine fridge so far, this one would be there.
Absolutely. So folks, normally it's the place where we talk about whether it's a waste of wine, but we have 3 folks saying solid kitchen table wine. It is not a waste of your wine, especially the piece that sometimes throws things off is the price point at $19.99. If you like Riesling, if you like white wine, if you like a wine that's a little drier, this is a good wine. It's a great price point. It's a good one to grab. So recommended here at Stop Wasting Your Wine. Before we let you go, Colin. Oh, wait. Joel, you said you'd be prepared for a social media drop this week. You said after Colin kind of like harassed the audience last time.
Yeah.
You said that you would be prepared. I'm gonna give you a second.
Right, and I am. No, I don't even need a second because I am prepared to do this. Now, am I typing in right now what I think is our URL, just to be totally sure before I tell the kids at home where they should go?
Joe, where can you go to engage with our podcaster?
Hey, listen, we would love to hear from you. If you don't know, we keep a running list of all of this fantastic content, where we placed everything, if something's a waste of your wine or not. So if you're listening to this, you want to go back and you want to see, hey, what else is out there that these 3 crazies have looked at, go to stopwastingyourwine.com. You can see the whole list, and maybe go find something that you want to try tonight for your circumstances in your scenario. Hey, if you're more into the social media aspect of things, come on over to Instagram. This is where I get a little
Keep going. It's all the same word,
bit off
just
the
different
rails.
places.
Come on over to the Instagram. We're over there too. Aaron, what's our?
It's just at, Joel. You have to put the word at in front of at. Stop wasting your wine.
At Stop Wasting Your Wine. Oh, let me tell you something about that. I'm joking around a little bit about not remembering our handle. Is it a handle?
Yeah, it's a handle. Handle.
We can. Thank you very much. But I will tell you this. I do go on a lot just to see the content that we're putting out there, because it's funny, it's engaging, it's educational.
You learn something.
You might laugh, you might cry, you might learn something along the way. So come check it out. At Stop Wasting Your Wine. How did I do? That was pretty good. Anything else that I didn't hit?
You're a natural, Joel. You're gonna do the next 18 episodes, so
all right,
get used to it.
And I don't think Joel or Aaron know about this, but we are now also on YouTube. Google Podcast is shutting down. Yeah, Google Podcast is shutting down, and all of they're switching to YouTube Music basically. So I went ahead and preempted that, and we are now. You can listen to all of our episodes on YouTube if you want to just throw it on. And
sweet.
Listen, there's no video, of course, for now. Anyway, I hope to put.
We do have a few videos too. I've uploaded a few.
We have some shorts. But you can
find those
on YouTube,
on Instagram.
And also,
Stop Wasting Your Wine.
Thanks, Joel.
This is why we have drop-offs at the end of our episodes.
Yeah,
so true.
And just one other thing, you can follow us on Facebook, Stop Wasting Your Wine on Facebook. I'd love to, that could be a great place to interact with us, and I'd love to hear from you guys. So if you want to join us over there, we'd love to hear from you.
All right, y'all. Another good one. Another good wine. We'll catch you next time. Remember, we drop a new episode every Tuesday. See you around, y'all. Take care.
And remember, stop wasting your wine.
Bye.
Woo!